Hello, welcome and welcome back. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and I'm having trouble sticking to one project today. I've been cutting up a lot of paper bags lately, and I've got a few different paper bag projects on the go, but I just felt like doing a zigzag one. And I had this section of paper bag that I had cut out and done the zigzag folding already. And I just thought I would play and see where it takes me. And I thought I'd bring you along. So I decided to use it this way, where this is the front cover. And we just have like a concertina thing. And when I get to the end, it's not quite a full page. So I thought I would glue it down as a pocket on the back. Could end up being the front too, I don't know, but I want to glue it down as a pocket either way, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just a thin bead of Aleene's tacky glue. I'm not even going to cut a notch in it. Oops, that's not good. But we'll see how we deal with that. And then my front edge is a little bit uneven, so I think I'm going to tear, oh, I can't really tear that small of an amount off. I've just talked about that in the last video. So let's see what I've got. I've got fancy edge scissors here. Maybe I'll just take that down the edge. It's going to make the cover just a touch narrower, but I have a way that I might deal with that too. So I've got my patterned edge there now. Let's, I think what I'll plan to do is throw some lace behind that, and then you'll see that edge better. So let's ink it so that it shows up even better against the lace. Then we'll dig into my lace drawer and see what I have. I don't think I'll glue it on yet though. Probably, it's a to-do list. My lace drawer, I just got some gold, but I don't think gold is what I want. Maybe a piece of this. And if I do that, in behind that scalloped cut, it's going to look really pretty. And that helps me decide kind of how to proceed with my decorating. But I'm not going to glue that on yet. Because what I want to do, I think I want to collage all over this, and like right now it's just grocery store paper bag thickness, and what I would like to see is it be stiff enough to stand up by itself when it's done. So I'm going to do a bunch of collaging, and I just love collaging. So this should be fun for me. I don't know how much fun it's going to be for you to watch. I've got some newsprint here that I'm trying to use up. So I'm going to start with a piece of that. I'm going to cut a few pieces of it. I don't think there's anything on this particular page that I wanted to save, so I can just go ahead and do some tears. I'm going to go with all like irregular shapes on this collage, just because that's how that's ripping. But I will get my glue book ready and my other tools handy here that I might need. Pencil, pliers, or not pliers, tweezers. And let's just start with some newsprint. And I think I'm going to let it go onto the back, like that. I better make a fresh page here. I've got some loose pages stuck in the book here, so I'm going to use them as I come to them. At one time I had a stack about 3 inches high of loose pages, and I took them all away with the idea that I'm just going to try it without the tacky glue. This project is not precious, so if it doesn't work out, I'll know. But I want to try the purple, disappearing purple without using the white glue and just see if it holds at all. Every once in a while I'm going to fold and crease that edge. So what else kind of paper do I have? I've got lots of neutrals here. Let's use some of this. This is magazine page advertisement. It's an old magazine and it was a cigarette ad, but I kept it because of the textured look of it. Let it just sort of tear rough. I don't think I want the part of the Surgeon's General warning in there. This already has a fold in it, so I might as well position that fold on the fold. I'm just going to make sure that I cover right to the edge with the purple glue stick. Hopefully that'll make it stick down well enough. What I'll do is I'll keep this piece in my stash for a while. After a couple months I'll check it to see if it's lifted up or not. Once we turn the wood stove on, that'll be the real test. I'm going to crease that with my fingernail. That'll all get inked eventually. Now because I don't want to run out of paper that matches, so I'm going to open this out and do some more a little further along. That one, I'll just use the other side. Oh no, I might not be able to. Put that in my small scraps. It's probably where it'll end up getting used. And this doesn't have a very crisp edge at the bottom, so I'm gonna just, and maybe what I'll do is I'll pare it like that so that it's a little rougher and put it along the bottom edge. So I'll make sure my fold lines up the bottom edge, crease it, and just so that there's more of that same paper further along is what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I think I'm going to skip this section and go over here, so I'm going to actually want to bend it back the other direction and put it in here, and then that kind of balances, if you know what I'm saying. So it's a shame not to use that one with the more amber colors in it. But you can't use both sides of the paper, can you? You got to make a choice at some point. So I'll set that down on there, lining up the bottom. I don't care if it comes right to the edge because I'm going to ink that edge anyway. I'm just making sure that the crease is in line here. And I'll even crease it like this to make sure that it's stuck on both sides. Okay, that's a pretty good start. Now how about some more magazine or newsprint? This is kind of a funky shape, so let's get rid of that bottom edge And we'll put that up here somewhere. You can line that stripe up with the, oh, that's too far over. I gotta go the other side of the stripe. Fragile. Very gently. But persistently adding quite a bit of glue to the back side of that. And then I'm going to do like this. Making sure that it's overlapping the other page, and there's no wiggle room. It's not letting me move it at all, which is good. It means it's stuck, but I wanted to move it. So that's all right. I can put a little strip of something there. There's just a little spot that didn't cover. And it doesn't really matter either if there's a little bit of that brown coming through. It's part of the whole beige on beige on beige theme that I'm going for here. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's fallish weather that I'm feeling that desire to do something a little more neutral. Not quite ready to add burnt orange yet, but I am feeling kind of neutral. And then here, I think I'm gonna use this full height. Kind of flattening it with the glue stick. It's quite wrinkled up. Putting it right along this pocket, not right to the edge. Give me a chance to move it just a little bit there. And then let's see what else I've got in here. I've got some tape measures, rulers, whatever they are. Just want a torn edge on those. Even though at this stage, probably all the edges are going to be covered, but I don't really know that yet. So I'm just going to tear the edges. And here's where, if I wanted to, I could go back and add a little strip here, but I don't think I need to. That's not really straight either, but that's okay. I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to glue it right where I'm going to put it. I rub that disappearing purple into the edges, maybe that'll help it stick down even better. I've got some coffee dyed paper here that will work, and I could use sort of a square edge here and tear. Not going right to the edge because I can ink that edge. And then I've got more of the tape measures. I want to spread those around so that it's, again, kind of a cohesive look in the end. And I'll do the same thing with the coffee dye to kind of use it all up, but spread it around. Ooh, didn't hold down hard enough on that ruler. That's better. And those scraps, they're a little tiny, a little too tiny. This could go up here. Not quite covering like I'd like it to. Maybe I'll put it over here. Or maybe what I'll do is, I don't think I have more of it. It was leftovers from some papers that I shared in Happy Mail. I'm just gonna make it into 2 pieces and use one here and one way over here somewhere. Maybe even on this little pocket. Just sort of spread them out. Actually, I think I'm going to use it sideways over here. I'm not sure how it will be for turning it into like a cardstock feel when it's dry without the white glue, because I almost always use the white glue along with the glue stick. So this will be interesting to see how much it stiffens it up. That's just the right width to go on there. I should have inked this edge before I did that, and I probably should have folded it back on itself to create a stiffer edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear that up. I'm going to do that while I still can. Just going to fold it back. And I'm going to glue that edge. And fold it in. I'll lose my yummy torn edges there, but I think it's more important that that pocket be stiffened up so that when you open it, it doesn't just tear on you. Doubling over the edge, making a hem on it basically for you sewers. The other place that I've heard that word used is in bending aluminum. They will do a hem to stiffen up the edge. So that's now a pocket that will actually work for you better. Afterthought, but I should have thought of it sooner. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it right now, because I'm probably going to cover that underneath there with something. And I've got it now that, yeah, this is still the front and that's the back. So the back will have like a bookmark or something like that in there. I'm enjoying this so far. And then the inside could be all writing space. Maybe I'll do some stamped lines to write on. I don't know yet. We'll see as we go. Okay, I'm going to continue on with more of this coffee dyed paper. So this piece only needs to come up to about here. I love the pattern on this. I was thinking about setting up a station. I need a building about 50 by 100 feet to set up all the little stations that I'd like to have set up. But I would like to have a station set up where I can be constantly coffee dyeing. Every night before I go to bed, just spray some sheets and lay them flat. And the next morning, if they're dry, spray some more on them and let them dry while I go to work and stuff like that. It's in my mind. I just don't think I would ever get around to doing it. But you never know. Take a strip of this and put it over here. For drying space, that's the real problem in most people's homes and craft rooms. You don't have somewhere to leave things laying flat to dry. Need a little something down here, maybe some music. I'm just in my beige spot here now. I can get my music out. These ones that I know I don't need out of the way for a minute. Don't need the colored ones right now. Book page and music I will need. And then doilies at the end. Okay. So I said music. Let's find some music. This one has some bees on it. I kind of like this music. Take this white edge off. This is a printable. That's why it has the white edge. Before I figured out that I could take the printing right to the edge of the page. I love that music with the bees on top of it. So I just need a small little bit here. I want to make sure it has music in it. I'm going to cut it right before that bee. Put that there. It's going to have a bend in it about there. I'll go ahead and bend it. Bring that down. So far, I like how this is turning out. I do need some book page over, or not book page, coffee dyed over here. I'll put music, maybe music down here and coffee dyed here. So let's make it a little wider than the tape measures. And we'll bring it down to about here. This is one-sided coffee dyed paper, recycled from my job. We print so many things in our job that don't need to be saved forever. So instead of recycling them, I've been coffee dyeing them and using them. Make sure that this doesn't line up and that this doesn't line up. Now it did line up here, so I'm just going to try to pull it down just a bit. Now I didn't cover that, but again, I don't think that's a big deal. I'm going to ink that a bit more. And then I said music down here. I think I'm going to try to include a bee there. I'll use this part. There's the bottom. I'll go about here. And I don't want to cover all that book page or newsprint up, so I think I'm going to do this again as well. And I'll just tear this on an angle like that. How many of you sit down and just craft? And how many of you sit down and plan before you craft? I'm just a sit down and craft kind of gal. Now, mind you, I say that, but I do plan, in fact, in the sense that I'm always like doing some fussy cutting and doing some inking of edges and stuff in front of the television, kind of so that I'm a little more prepared to just sit down and craft for the most part. I just wonder how you guys do it. What else have I got here that's enough to spread around? I've got some piano roll paper, which I hardly ever think to use. So I think I'll use some of that. And I just need a little snippet of something here. So I think I'll tear this edge, get myself a little piece with nice torn edges so it looks nice and vintage, and stick that right there. Now this might be hard to glue, I'm not sure. Nope, it's not getting stuck on the cutouts. I have quite a few rolls of this stuff. I got some for $2 a roll. And I was thinking I would sell it, but it's the shipping that kills you. It has to go in a small box, which is almost $25 now to ship. Within Canada anyway. And then what about another little piece of that up here? Pouncing on it like that sometimes helps the glue to release from the page below. There, so my front cover is covered. And then it's just a matter now of finishing up the rest of the sheets and then letting it dry enough. Ink it up. I'm going to take this leftover piece here and I am going to cover this little spot with it. Just to show you that you can use those little strips that you're cutting off. And what does it need in here? Maybe some more music. Music there and there, so it needs some up here. I'm going to take this and wrap it. Let's see, how well can I do that little curve? I'd rather not have to. I could ignore the curve too. Go right over it. I think I'm going to do that. I do like this purple glue. I don't know that I like it better than the clear stuff. You can see that you've got it everywhere. That's a big bonus. I think that's why they do it. great for kids so they can see that they've got it everywhere, but it works for us adults too. And over on this back side where that has come through, I'm going to put some more paper on the back of that. Because I think eventually I'm probably going to collage both sides. I think that's how my plan is progressing in my mind. The only thing I gotta watch is that I don't glue this right down. And then what can I put here? Maybe some more coffee dyed. Just a little piece with a fairly square top on it. And then that little paper bag swoop just disappears. It's covered on both sides. You wouldn't even know it was there because it didn't make sense where it was. If it had made sense to have a section of this shut to slide something in and that ended up right there, that would be different, but it wasn't. So now I think I'll do a bigger piece of the piano roll paper because I've got a section that says I love you and I always will. And so I'm going to leave the square edge on that, which I don't usually do. But just because, well, I could tear that off. I do like a torn edge. It's nice to be able to use that. This stuff almost has a bit of a parchment or waxy feel. It's very brittle. It's not accepting the glue very well here. So I imagine that that might be a section that will lift on me. I'll just go back around with my little paintbrush and some glue and do under the edges if I have to. Now along this bottom edge, I've got music here and here. Maybe another little strip of some newsprint. If I can get some to rip fairly straight. Like that. Maybe this almost looks straighter this way. And then this had a fold, so I've got to make sure that that fold is reinforced. So that's going to be kind of on the, like when you open this, you're going to kind of go like this, and then you're going to go like this. So it's one of the last things you'll see if you read the book the way I would read it, but you know, it's a concertina. It can be read all different ways or looked at all different ways. Okay, more book page or coffee dyed paper up here maybe. Maybe all along this top edge. Use that piece. Looks like an email that I printed. And actually, I think I'm going to put the torn edge up because I can cover the bottom edge. Overlap it to that point. And let's get some music over in here. And one of those bees in the mix. Something like that. And then I'll find something darker to put through there. Maybe I should do more of the newsprint and have it underneath the music. Something about a daughter's death. That's not very nice. I could do this, and then this, and then just something up in that corner, and then something down in here. Let's get that covered to that point. I'm intrigued by the concertina as soon as I saw it. I did do one last winter. Maybe some more of this music. I'm just going to let that overlap. Because I think those layers are going to help it to have that rigidity that I want it to have. So I need something in here, something dark, I think, because of these dark elements. So maybe something in this newsprint is a bit darker right there. Oh, look at that little lady. Didn't notice her before. I think that said honey. So that can go there. Getting sticky. I just keep some torn up towels, bath towels that are getting scraggly looking. I just tear them into squares and have them for wiping my hands when I'm working. The coarseness of the bath towel is great for getting the glue off. There's something dark and interesting. It's not too dark, but it's got some darkness to it. It's a little bit more like a, it's not quite cardstock, but it's definitely darker. I just want two torn edges here. And then top and bottom too, I think. And that's going to be going over the fold right here. So I'm going to just go ahead and pre-fold it. And that's not big enough. Shoot, get a different section. I'll use this tree section. It's the tearing that's making it too small when I tear it down. But I just don't want that square edge. That can go right there. It's actually covering up my honey. So I'm going to just tear that out so you can see the word honey. A little bit. And now because this is cardstock, I am going to use a little white glue. Executive decision. Because it's going to be more apt to lift on me. It's just habit to fold that with the fold, crease it with my nails, and now you see that has come up, so I won't even try to make it work with the glue stick. I'll give it the help it deserves and needs. And then I'm trying to decide what to do. I want the papers, the collage papers, to go down inside there. I really should have collaged it and then folded it over, but that would actually be more paper than I needed to use, but it would have stiffened it up too. So maybe some different music here. This is pretty light. Got some that's inked, which isn't quite right because nothing else is inked. But the back sides of these aren't inked, so I can use that. And just kind of tear it to length. And I can just glue that right down there and then just put a little something top and bottom. Shame to use a piece I've already inked, but I'll get over it. And I think I will add some white glue on these too so that it doesn't lift, because if it lifts and you're trying to put something in and out of the pocket, it'll cause you a problem. Also gives me some wiggle room to get it into position where I want it. Now everywhere else I've covered the seams, the folds. This one I haven't covered the folds, so I'm kind of torn on whether I should or just leave it like it is. I'm thinking maybe I should. Still thinking. Go over onto it there. And that's not gonna hold very well. Reinforce this down at the bottom with this thicker paper. I'm gonna just go right in with the white glue. Really good all over gluing. It's not going to fold very well either, because I didn't fold it first. Maybe some newsprint folded over. It's quite an experiment. Flatten it down. And then fold it and press. It's hard because my fingers are getting gluey again. Sometimes even I question, what the heck am I doing? Ripping up paper and gluing it back down and gluing it back together. It seems a little silly, but here I am doing it. I do like the results. Oops. That folded right back on itself. See if I can get it apart. Yeah, I did. And then fold it. Okay, so that's one side completely covered. Now these ones that are a little thicker, they are maybe going to be a problem, but we'll see when it dries. I need a little bit right here. And I don't want it to be more of that. I think I want it to be the coffee dyed. Oh, I've got coffee dyed there. Maybe music could go there. Could certainly go there. And then maybe I'll just put that other piece there too. I don't know. We'll see. Ooh. Go right up to the corner. And then I still need a little something along the edge. I do have some more of that piano roll paper that could go right down there. I have a feeling that's going to heal up. Okay, so then the question is, do I do both sides or do I leave this for writing? But I've already put one piece there. Now I could take that off and put brown paper there and you wouldn't notice it. That's an option too. So I'm going to let this dry and decide what to do with the back, and then we will revisit that in the second video. So I would imagine we're getting to the point where we need to quit. I know I feel like I need to quit for a moment. 47 minutes, I think, yeah, I think we better. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know what you think of the project so far and what you would do different. I've enjoyed doing it, and I hope you have enjoyed watching it. Have a great day and happy crafting.